and welcome to the first video. The first video of Glenny's Gibberish. First main video, the big subject video. I figured we'll keep it simple. Why not? Get to know me better, the two of us. Get to me and you and I, just like the first time. You gotta get to know me if you're even interested in what I want to do. So I figured we'd dive into a few of my favorite things across all media. I have before me some of my favorite little unique objects. I've got to say they're different. They're unique. I hope that you don't know them. At least half of them. You probably don't. They're rare. I recommend them. This is a part recommendation, part things I like. So without further ado, we're just gonna dive on in. We've got something for everybody here. Games, music, movies, books. Covered that, right? All right, let's dive in. Why not? Let's just go with the first one. First and simple, most unique one, I think. Maybe the second unique one. I don't know. They're all unique. This is a book. There you go. Okay, this is a. No, okay, back to the book. Right. This book is called S, and it's written by Doug Dorst. But the story and idea behind it is by J.J. Abrams. So if you know him, famous movie director, he's done some unique things. And so I saw this. Oh gosh, I don't know when it came out. Years ago. It's an older book. There's no year on it. Of course, there's not a year on it. Why would there be a year on it? Anywho, you'd probably, to look it up, you'd probably have to look up Doug Dorst S. Literally just the book is a big S on it. Sorry there's a sticker on it, but that's how it comes because of reasons. First and foremost, it's kind of two books in one. Very interestingly. What makes this unique other than just a book? Well, the book itself is called S. That's what you would buy on the store, at the bookstore, wherever, by Doug Dorst. However, once you get into the book itself, you're looking at a whole different book by the title of Ship of Theseus by V.M. Straka. Now, this is the story S. In and of itself, within the story S, is a whole other book. Very unique. Overall story is that two kids get together and they come across this book, this actual book, the Ship of Theseus. This is a fiction tale, and this is the actual book they find, and they read it together back and forth. It looks like a library book. It's got all the workings of a library book, the dates, they've checked it out and all that stuff. So it looks like a library book. Book for loan. Within this book is the story Ship of Theseus. That's a whole separate thing. You can read that just by itself, and that's a book within a book, basically. However, the S book is what makes it interesting. If you can see, there's writing in the margin of the book. So the small sections here is actually the Ship of Theseus book inside it. But within that is writings that the two characters of the story S have done together. They read this book, they swap it back and forth between each other, and they leave notes. They don't actually talk in person. One person will read a chapter, they write something in the margin, they hand it off to the next guy, and he reads it. Very unique. Very likable. If that's something you're into, it's a fun multimedia thing. You kind of get these two stories in one. And the two people reading it, it's a boy and girl that come across this book. There's a huge mystery about the author, V.M. Straka. And it's a pen name, and no one knows who the actual author is. So kind of the whole time they're reading the book, they're having conversations back with each other about random things regarding the author. What's even cooler about the book, if you don't like books, if it's boring to read, it's very short, it's small writing with the margins in it. You can kind of read it however you want. There's no instructions behind, should you read the margins first? Should you read the book first? Should you read the chapters? Come back? What do you do? Don't know. It doesn't really tell you. However, it's more engaging than that. Every now and then there are inserts of random little things. A postcard from Brazil, there's writing on it. Here's a photo. Just a photo. There's all kinds of random things. There's a napkin in here that has like a map drawn on it. There's postcards. There's cool little sciencey looking cards with tickets in it and all that stuff. And it all involves this mystery of who this author is and who they know. Huge letters in it that are written. Super cool. I had so much fun reading the book. I couldn't recommend it more. There's a cool little compass thing in the back. It's a mystery novel, basically, And then, of course, the Ship of Theseus book is a separate book within it that is kind of like, metaphorically hints at what, the author's life is like and all that jazz. Really fun, really unique. I must read it again. I haven't read it in a while. And overall, it's called S. Super fun, super cool, very, very different for a book and all that jazz. Moving on, I took too long talking about that. Movie time. I love movies. As you can see, all these are mostly movies and games back here. I love collecting steel books. I love how they look. I love, how they look. My favorite one, though, has got to be Blade Runner 2049. I got this lovely steelbook here. This is actually the European art release form of it. So this is actually a European copy of Blade Runner 2049. The American copy is garbage. It doesn't look good. The cover of the steelbook is not cool. This one's very, very artsy, very colorful. I liked it. It costed me a very pretty penny, so that's probably why I like it more than anything else. I can't recommend the movie enough. Blade Runner is like one of the greatest sci-fi movies out there, right? This is technically the sequel, 2049. Still just as fabulous. Ryan Gosling's cool as well, it's more than love. But yeah, that's one of my favorite steelbooks out of every steelbook I have back here. I have loads, but this is the most expensive and my most favorite. So, but that's a good sci-fi starting movie to watch is Blade Runner, definitely. Not my favorite though. Most people probably have seen that movie if you're into movies. Let's go on to the next weird thing, right? That one was short. We kept that one short. Blade Runner should I talk about it more? Watch the final cut of the first movie. There's like 50 cuts. Watch the final cut, the one that's called the final cut. It's fantastic. And then that one's just long no matter what. 49 is just long no matter what. They're fantastic. Oh, so good though. This next piece, I don't really know how to describe it, so I'm just gonna kind of show it off. This one's got a bit of a story to it. This is a video game. Yeah. Just stare at it for a while, I guess, if you want. If you know what it's from, then hats off to you. I'm not a freak. Otherwise, you're going, what in the hell? Probably, right? This little guy right here is a spoiler for those who haven't played it. It's from the game Inside. It's a video game. It's from an independent company. Their first game was Limbo, if you have heard of it. I cannot recommend the games enough. They are fabulous, fun little 2D platformer games that have a unique story to them that is told non-verbally. Just you experience the piece. If this doesn't catch your eye, then maybe don't play it. But this is from Inside, the sequel. I won't spoil it too much, but as you can see, this thing is questionable. This was actually a mystery box item. The game had come out and had been out for a few years, and I forgot. I guess I Am 8-Bit is where it's a great website if you're into music and games and the combination of both. I Am 8-Bit does a lot of unique, mostly like video game vinyls. If you're super into that, which I am as well, love game music. But they announced, this was years ago, they announced a mystery box for the game Inside. The only thing they teased was that they are teaming up with Real Doll. If you look into that company, I wouldn't recommend looking into the company, but it is a it's a sex doll company. There's no easy way to put that. But as you can know, if it's a video game and they're teaming up with Real Doll and you had played the game Inside, then you would know there was only one thing that they could do. This. It came with a big collector's box. There was the game, some art cards, and some other little knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone thing, but this was definitely the piece de la resistance. This is actually a squishy Real Doll mold, which is, what they use for sex dolls. So it's, just real, It's very... Love it, yeah. However, that being said, this is just a little showpiece for it. It's creepy. It costed a lot of money, and you did not actually see it. It was a mystery box, so all they said was just, here it is. We're teaming up with Real Doll with the game inside. This is what you got, So you get what you get, right? And luckily, it paid off because, man, what a conversation piece, right? I mean, look at that. Love it. I won't spoil the game if you're interested in like why the heck. It comes with this cool stand that you just shove right up in its bumhole. Yeah, dude, it's a piece, that's for sure. Love it. It's still one of the most favorite things though. It's so unique, right? And then speaking of the games, have to go play them. They're very short. They're quite simple. They're not difficult games at all, but they are very magical in spirit and style. Moving on, because we've got like one more thing to cover, maybe another thing that I could recommend very quickly. But this one is a book/music, more so music, but it comes from a book. When I was a child, a wee little lad, I came across a child book author named Graham Bass. I'll give you his name here in a second. He wrote like 5 or 6 children's books to my knowledge, and they're fantastic. I got all of them because I fell in love with them, but one was especially special and still special to this day, and it is called The Worst Band in the Universe by Graham Bass. Simple enough. I mean, it's a children's book, more or less. A little older. There's a lot. This one has a lot of writing compared to his other books. So not for like 6-year-olds, but for younger people. Fun, silly story. I mean, just to give you a hint, the story is basically a battle of the bands in galactic scale. So they're trying. The competition is called the worst band in the universe to find out who the worst band is. But kind of in that like edgy rock and roll way, not trying to be the actual worst, but that's just what they call it. And the story's about, a kid who goes off, gets a band, learns new music and how to do that, and he comes back and he performs in the Battle of the Bands, aka the worst band in the universe. The coolest part about this book is that it actually comes with a bonus CD. Now, what's cool about this? This is old. Some of you might not know what these are anymore. This is a compact disc that actually has the music on it. This was an old book, as you can tell. The book actually came with a music disc. I listened to this music religiously. It's probably my favorite album of all time. Funny enough, though, you're not going to find it published anywhere because the author, Graham Bass, recorded it all himself. He is the singer, music maker, all of it. He did it all himself solo and got it published through somebody himself, I guess. So it's not like streaming anywhere. You can't find it on like Spotify, iTunes Music, that stuff. It is on YouTube though. You can just literally type up Worst Band in the Universe and there is a playlist of all the songs from the CD that is based on the book here. The songs are songs sung by the band within the story. They're super funky, alien, psychedelic-y songs that are really good, in my opinion. Way too good to be a children's book thing. The lyrics are in the book back here in the back. It's actually a really good story. Great art as well. I mean, my goodness. Super cool. Forgot. I need to read this book again as well. But I can't recommend taking a listen to that because... And it's like free to use, I guess, because it's technically copywritten, but it's not really anywhere. So none of you have heard of it, probably. If you have, my hat's off to you. You are one of the grand people of this world. Because it's one of my favorite movies possible. He's made other books and stuff as well that are just fantastic. Dragon book, all that jazz. We gotta round this up, right? So that'll be it for today. That's a blank page. Wow, how cool of me. It's got a dragon book that's got cool dragons in it and letters that are written by people who encountered these dragons on their travels. Really cool stuff. That's called The Discovery of Dragons if you're interested. But there's just a few of my favorite things that I like. Some weird, wacky things. I recommend them to you. They're fabulous and all that jazz. I have plenty of other crap in my life that I can recommend, so I'm sure this won't be the last one. But let's wrap it up. Let's go. It's been going on too long. Thank you all for watching. Comment, leave some stuff. Leave your favorite little media things around. But until then, this is Glenny's Gibberish. That's all I got. Let's go.